Have you ever tripped at home and thought that was close, but never questioned your shoes? Every year, thousands of women over 70 lose their mobility, not because of illness or age, but because of something far more silent: the wrong footwear. From worn-out sneakers to cozy slippers that betray your balance, the shoes we trust most can slowly steal our strength, our stability, and our independence. But here's the good news: you can take back control, one step at a time. In this video, we'll uncover 8 dangerous footwear mistakes that many seniors make without realizing it. But more importantly, we'll show you what to wear instead: simple, affordable, and supportive options that restore confidence in every step you take. You'll learn how to stop letting your shoes silently sabotage your balance, joint health, and peace of mind. Whether you've experienced foot pain, fallen at home, or simply want to stay active and independent in your golden years, this guide was made for you. And you're not alone. Thousands of older women across the country are facing the same hidden risks. Just like you, they want to feel safe and strong again. So, if you're ready to feel steady on your feet and confident in your choices, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button. Stay with me until the end, because the final tip may be the smallest change that makes the biggest difference in your life. Number 1. The one-pair-fits-all mentality. Wearing the same pair of shoes for every activity might feel simple, even practical, but it's one of the most common mistakes quietly harming seniors over 70. For many older adults, especially those raised in families where frugality was a virtue, sticking with one good pair seems responsible. But that habit, while rooted in wisdom, no longer matches the changing needs of the aging body. This issue is incredibly widespread. Nearly every senior I speak with admits they rely on one main pair of shoes. And yet, the danger this presents is often underestimated. It's a slow-building threat that undermines mobility without warning. Just ask Walter, a 74-year-old veteran from Ohio who wore the same sneakers for housework, errands, and weekend gardening. After months of subtle knee pain, he learned that mismatched support had caused a chain reaction, throwing off his posture and leading to joint stress he never linked to his shoes. The real reason this happens is simple. Most people don't realize that their feet change dramatically with age. The cushioning beneath the heel thins, the arches lose strength, balance becomes more delicate. So when you wear the same shoe to walk on hard tile, gravel, or concrete, your feet, ankles, and knees suffer the consequences. The body absorbs impact differently depending on the surface, and the wrong footwear magnifies that strain. It's like trying to use one single key to open every lock in your house. It might work once, but eventually something jams. Over time, this leads to poor circulation, fatigue in the legs, and uneven gait. Even a minor imbalance, repeated day after day, can increase the risk of falls, particularly indoors, where seniors feel safe, but are often most vulnerable. Thankfully, the fix is both affordable and life-changing. By organizing your footwear into 3 simple zones: indoor comfort shoes, daily walking support, and activity-specific footwear, you give your body the variation it needs to stay aligned and protected. You don't need more shoes. You just need the right ones for the right moment. If you've experienced something similar or found a shoe routine that works for you, share it in the comments. Your insight might help someone else walk safer today. Number 2. Smooth-soled shoes. Wearing smooth-soled shoes might seem harmless, especially if they're clean, polished, and still look presentable. But for older adults, this choice is one of the most deceptive dangers lurking in the closet. Many seniors still keep their favorite leather loafers or formal shoes from years past, often reserved for church, social events, or family gatherings. These shoes are still very common, especially among men over 70 who were raised to value formality and care in their appearance. Yet the hidden risk is high. These soles, whether made from worn leather or aged rubber, often lose their grip entirely. Over time, one slight misstep on a smooth floor or damp surface can lead to a fall that changes everything. Just last winter, my neighbor Harold, a 76-year-old retired school bus driver, slipped in his kitchen while wearing an old pair of dress shoes he thought were just fine. that one fall left him with a fractured wrist and a long recovery that stole months of his independence. This mistake usually comes from good intentions, trying to look neat, not waste money, or simply trusting a shoe that's never caused problems before. What many don't realize is that grip fades long before the shoe's upper shows wear. The smooth soles that once felt stable now slide like ice on tile. And as we age, our natural balance weakens, making these slips more likely and more dangerous. Think of it like walking on linoleum with socks. It may feel okay for a while, but all it takes is one unexpected step to bring real consequences. The results can be devastating: sprains, breaks, back pain, or the fear of walking at all. Fortunately, there's an easy fix. You can attach anti-slip pads to the soles, or even better, switch to dress shoes with rubber grip outsoles designed specifically for seniors. These modern options combine safety with style, proving you don't have to choose between dignity and protection. If you've ever had a near fall or quietly replaced your favorite pair after a scare, feel free to share it in the comments below. Your story might help someone else stay upright and independent longer. Number 3. Shoes that are too narrow. Wearing shoes that are too narrow may not seem dangerous at first glance, especially if they're the same size you've worn for decades. But as we age, our feet naturally change shape. Ligaments loosen, arches soften, and swelling becomes more common. Yet many older adults continue wearing shoes that no longer match the actual width of their feet. This issue is extremely widespread among seniors, particularly those who haven't had their feet measured since middle age. And the danger is more serious than most people think. Tight shoes can compress nerves, restrict blood flow, and destabilize your entire gait. That's what happened to Linda, a 73-year-old former librarian from Arizona. She kept wearing her old narrow walking shoes without realizing they were cutting into the sides of her feet. After months of mild tingling and ignored discomfort, she lost her balance stepping off a curb and fractured her ankle, an injury that took nearly a year to fully heal. This mistake is rooted in habit and sentiment. Many older adults stick to the size they've always known, sometimes out of loyalty to a favorite brand or a belief that it's just a little snug. Others are hesitant to acknowledge how their bodies have changed, but aging brings structural changes that make proper shoe width non-negotiable. Cramming a wider foot into a narrow shoe is like stuffing today's mail into yesterday's envelope. It just doesn't fit anymore, and forcing it causes damage. Over time, this leads to bunions, nerve compression, balance problems, and eventually, pain that radiates up into the knees and lower back. Thankfully, the fix is simple and surprisingly satisfying. Get your feet professionally measured, both length and width, and do it while standing, preferably later in the day when your feet are at their widest. Look for shoes with rounded toe boxes, adjustable closures, and labeled width options. Many brands now offer senior-specific models designed to accommodate these common changes. If you've ever felt pressure or numbness in your toes or the outer edge of your foot, this may be the sign you've been missing. Share your experience in the comments if you've recently discovered your true shoe size. It could inspire someone else to finally breathe easy on their next walk. Number 4. Worn-out sneakers. Worn-out sneakers are perhaps one of the most misleading hazards in a senior's closet. They often look perfectly fine on the outside, no rips, no stains, maybe even still clean from last week's walk. But under the surface, the real danger is hiding in plain sight. Among adults over 70, this is a very common mistake. The habit of keeping shoes until they fall apart comes from a lifetime of practicality and frugality. But with age, the cushioning inside sneakers begins to break down long before there's any visible damage, and this silent wear is where the risk begins. David, a 75-year-old from Michigan, wore the same sneakers for nearly 3 years, convinced they were still good as new. But when his knee pain flared up and walking became a chore, a physical therapist finally pointed to the culprit. His shoes had lost all their support, forcing his joints to absorb every step without protection. This happens more often than people realize because older adults tend to trust what they can see. If the tread looks fine, they assume the rest is too. But aging shoes lose their internal structure, especially the midsole, which is the part that cushions impact. Without that, each step sends force up through the knees, hips, and lower back. Over time, this changes your walking posture and can even cause one leg to compensate for the other, creating imbalance and pain that spreads throughout the body. It's like sleeping on an old mattress that still looks flat but makes your back ache every morning. The solution is refreshingly simple. If you walk daily, mark your calendar when you buy a new pair and plan to replace them every 6 to 9 months. Look for sneakers designed for seniors, those with strong arch support, shock absorption, and a wide, stable base. Avoid the temptation to stretch their life just a little longer, because that little can turn into months of discomfort. If you've ever worn a pair of shoes far past their prime and noticed new aches or fatigue, comment number 4 to let me know you've made it here, and feel free to share how you knew it was time to finally let them go. Number 5. Backless slippers. Backless slippers may feel like the perfect companion for a slow morning or a quiet evening at home, but for older adults, they are one of the most overlooked hazards underfoot. Their open heel design may seem convenient, but that comfort comes at a cost. Among seniors, backless slippers are incredibly popular. They're soft, easy to slide into, and don't require bending down to adjust. But they also offer little to no support or stability, and that makes them quietly dangerous. The risk they carry is surprisingly high. Each step taken in these slippers demands subtle toe gripping to keep them in place, and this alters how you walk. That small shift in gait reduces balance and increases muscle fatigue in the legs and feet. It's a problem that often goes unnoticed until it leads to a fall. Just ask Claire, a 75-year-old widow from Oregon who slipped while carrying a cup of tea down the hall in her favorite terry cloth slippers. She hadn't realized how much she relied on them until that one spill fractured her hip and turned her independence upside down. The deeper cause of this issue lies in habit and perception. Many seniors associate house slippers with safety. They feel comfortable and familiar, like a part of home itself. But the aging body no longer compensates the way it used to. Changes in joint flexibility, reduced muscle strength, and slower reaction times make balance more fragile. Wearing footwear that slides, shifts, or lacks ankle support amplifies that fragility. Imagine trying to carry a full tray while wearing socks on a polished floor. Everything feels fine until you need to move quickly. The consequences are real: falls, broken bones, hospital stays, and long recoveries that drain not just physical strength but also confidence. Thankfully, there's no need to give up comfort to stay safe. Replace backless slippers with supportive house shoes that have heel coverage, non-slip soles, and a bit of arch cushioning. Look for options designed with older adults in mind, easy to put on but firm enough to protect your steps. If you've made the switch or have a favorite safe indoor shoe, let others know in the comments. Your experience might help someone avoid a painful fall before it ever happens. Number 6. Barefoot at home. Going barefoot around the house may feel natural, even comforting, especially for older adults who want to give their feet a break. But what seems harmless can quietly become a serious risk after age 70. Many seniors enjoy the freedom of bare feet, especially on warm days or after a long outing in tight shoes. It's a habit formed over time and rooted in the belief that home is the safest place. But this behavior, while common, carries a much higher danger than most people realize. In fact, among seniors, walking barefoot indoors is surprisingly prevalent, particularly on tile, hardwood, or laminate floors. And the risk, it's high. Without footwear, the foot loses critical protection, and even small missteps can lead to dangerous outcomes. Consider Roger, a 79-year-old from South Carolina, who stubbed his toe on a hallway threshold late one night. That minor injury turned into an infected ulcer that required weekly wound care and left him housebound for nearly 2 months. The problem stems from how aging changes the foot's structure and function. As we grow older, the fat pads that once cushioned our steps thin out. Sensation in the feet decreases, especially for those with circulation issues or diabetes. That means you may not feel small cuts, pressure points, or rough surfaces that younger feet easily absorb or respond to. It's like walking into battle without armor. What once felt freeing now leaves you exposed. Over time, going barefoot can also lead to poor balance. Without grip or structure underfoot, your body works harder to stay steady, which can throw off your posture and increase fall risk, especially during sudden movements or nighttime trips. To the bathroom. The solution is both simple and effective. Wear supportive, breathable indoor shoes or house slippers with non-slip soles. Choose pairs that offer a bit of structure without feeling heavy. Your feet should feel both protected and relaxed. Avoid anything loose or floppy and prioritize cushioning and grip over looks. If you've experienced a fall, a close call, or simply noticed your feet getting more sensitive over time, leave a comment and share your story. You never know who might need that reminder to stop going barefoot and start walking safely again. Number 7. Flip-flops. Flip-flops might seem like the perfect choice for warm weather or casual strolls, but for seniors, they're one of the most misleading and dangerous types of footwear. Their popularity remains high, especially during summer months or in warmer regions like Florida, California, or Arizona, where many older adults retire. But despite being a familiar favorite, the risk they carry is very real. Flip-flops offer no arch support, no heel stability, and virtually no shock absorption. And that makes them especially hazardous for aging feet and joints. This danger is not always immediate, but it builds over time. I remember meeting Doris, a 72-year-old woman from Tampa, who loved wearing flip-flops around her garden and while walking to get her mail. She started feeling heel pain that slowly spread to her knees. Later, it was diagnosed as plantar fasciitis, worsened by months of poor support. That one habit forced her to stop walking for pleasure altogether. The problem lies in the way flip-flops are designed. Your toes have to grip the sandal with every step to keep it from flying off, which throws off your natural stride. This gripping motion causes strain that travels from your foot all the way up to your hips and lower back. Moreover, the thin soles allow hard impact forces to shoot straight into your bones and joints, especially dangerous after age 70, when tissue resilience declines and joint pain is more common. It's like trying to walk long distances on a piece of cardboard. You can do it, but your body pays the price afterward. These issues compound over time, often without clear warning signs, until the pain becomes a daily reality. Fortunately, you don't have to give up the light, open feel you enjoy. The solution is to replace flip-flops with sandals that have backstraps, arch support, and cushioned soles. They still allow your feet to breathe, but they give your body the stability and alignment it needs. You'll find styles today that look just as casual and breezy, but protect your joints with every step. If you've reached this point, comment. Number 7. To let me know you're still with me and share if you've made this change in your own footwear routine. Someone else might benefit from your experience. Number 8. High heels, even low ones. High heels, even the modest ones you might call sensible, are one of the most deceptively harmful choices for older adults, especially women who spent decades wearing them to work, church, or formal events. Though not as commonly worn every day after 70, they still sit in many closets ready for weddings, Sunday services, or family dinners. The danger, however, is not just in wearing them often, it's in wearing them at all. Even a 2-inch heel shifts your entire body's alignment, pushing weight onto the front of the foot, tightening the Achilles tendon and forcing your knees and lower back to compensate. This risk is real, and the consequences often go unnoticed until it's too late. I once met Evelyn, a 74-year-old former nurse from North Carolina, who wore low heels to her granddaughter's graduation. That one afternoon left her with severe arch pain and a week of difficulty walking. It was a wake-up call that the shoes she once relied on no longer supported the life she was living now. The root of this mistake often lies in identity. For many women, heels are part of how they expressed elegance and professionalism. Letting go of them can feel like letting go of part of yourself. But aging feet are different feet. The fat padding has thinned, joints are more sensitive, and balance isn't as automatic. Wearing heels is like planting a flag on uneven ground. It may look graceful, but it leaves you off-center. Over time, this leads to bunions, hammer toes, shortened tendons, and lingering back or hip pain. Even occasional use can trigger long-term damage in an aging body that simply can't absorb the same stress it used to. Thankfully, dignity doesn't have to be traded for safety. Today's supportive flats and low-profile shoes come in beautiful designs with wide toe boxes, cushioned insoles, and secure bases that still let you feel polished and proud. Look for dress shoes with gentle arch support and slip-resistant soles. They offer elegance without compromise. If you've kept a pair of heels just in case but now see them differently, comment number 8 to let me know you made it here, and feel free to share your own heel-to-flat transition story. It might inspire someone else to step into comfort with confidence. As we age, small choices carry greater weight, and few choices affect our daily safety more than the shoes we wear. The wrong footwear doesn't just hurt your feet, it can quietly undermine your balance, trigger joint pain, and take away your freedom one step at a time. From smooth soles and backless slippers to worn-out sneakers and ill-fitting heels, each mistake we covered today is common, but also preventable. The good news is that protecting your golden years starts with simple changes. Choosing supportive shoes, replacing old pairs regularly, and matching footwear to your daily activities can restore confidence, comfort, and independence. Whether you're walking to the mailbox, gardening, or heading to church, the right shoes make every movement safer and stronger. You are not alone in this. So many seniors are facing the same quiet struggles: heel pain, stiff knees, poor posture. Without realizing their shoes might be the reason. That's why your story matters. If something in this video reminded you of a mistake you've made, or a change that helped you, share it in the comments below. You might help someone else take that first step towards safer, healthier aging. And remember, your feet carry your whole life. Treat them with the care they've earned. They've walked you this far. Make sure they carry you forward with strength.